This weekend, the Trackmania Grand League World Cup will take place, and then on July 4th, the playoffs will take place with 8 best players. The defending Trackmania Grand League champion for the last 3 seasons is CarlJr. He's also the guy who has won the most amount of world championships. So many people look at him as the biggest favorite, but the only man to answer that question is the guy himself. But first of all, CarlJr., once again, welcome back to the channel. How is life? How is everything doing? How are you doing?
Yo, Eirik, thanks for having me. And life is good. I'm chilling. I'm waiting for my semester to start in September, and right now, yeah, just chilling on Trackmania basically.
What do you mean by just chilling? It's pretty much the busiest time of the year. Not only the Trackmania World Cup coming up, but you also have the Serati Cup coming up. So, how busy are you? What does your day look like if you are to explain it to a casual
Well,
fan?
I'm trying to balance those two with the stream. So when I don't stream, I mean the days I don't stream, I try to train a little bit offline. And the other days while I'm streaming Zarty and I'm trying to balance those two competitions together.
Hmm. Yeah, because let's get that question out of the way. I asked yesterday. Name a fact that you don't believe is true, but it's actually true. On Twitter, Coco said that most people want to win the Serrato Cup instead of the World Cup. What is your response? Would you say that the Serrato Cup this year is bigger than the return of a World Championship?
No, well, it depends who you're asking, obviously. But for me, obviously, the prestigious tournament is the World Cup. But for the long term, as a player that is speaking French, it's way better to be active during the Ryder Cup.
Hmm.
So I can understand both point of views.
Yeah. But then, how much have you prepared, let's say, compared to the last seasons of Trackmania Grand League, where you have been a champion? How much do you prepare compared to that for a World Cup? Is it the same? Is it more like, okay, now it's
Um,
actually a World Championship that will be handed out, so I need to put more effort into it? Or tell people what is the difference, if there is any?
well, there is it for me. I consider the World Cup as big as winning a TMGL playoff season. So for me, it's the same thing. I put the same amount of energy, the same amount of time. So I'll try to do that and be the best I can be.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember once I said that the Trackmania Grand League is the most prestigious. Then there was this debate about is it really the most prestigious because now the Trackmania Grand League season is more like a show where you have the whole format is based around everything can happen, everybody can basically to some extent win it. But now we are back to a format that you have became the world champion in 3 times. You also won Trackmania Grand League Winter 2020. And it's the cup mode. It seems like the format that the players themselves like the best. I personally also liked it the best. But does that make it more prestigious, or is it just a different format and it will be the
Uh,
same?
well, you know that from the season 2 and season 3 of the MGL, the format changed
Yeah.
of the playoffs. So like the second round right now, you need to win 2 maps and not 2 rounds, and the final is like the first to 4 points. So it's way less random than it used to be. Like for me, the TMGL I won against Gwen, there was a bit of a lucky factor in it, a luck factor between qualifying into the finals and then winning it. But nowadays in the TMGL, I like the format the way it is. That the top 4 to top 2 is way less random because yeah, you need to win 2 maps, and the 1v1, well, it's the first to 4 points. So I think in the end that the best guy wins. So I rate this. I rate both cups the same because for
Hmm.
me it's as hard as winning those. So a win at the World Cup, it's not more difficult than winning the TMGL, at least the way I see it. But obviously, since you have one World Cup and two TMGL per year, I would say that the World Cup is still a bigger.
Yeah. But then, can you tell us who do you favor in a cup mode? Is it different from a normal playoff? Is it different from a normal group stage in the Trackmania Grand League? I have seen some comments on my YouTube videos that is basically not taking into account that it's going to be cup mode. Is it really that different about who is good at the different formats?
Uh, it depends. How I feel is I see myself way better at 1v1s
Mm.
than 1v1v1v1s because in 1v1 you play the guy basically. So I always play with the CPs and I adapt my gameplay to the guy I'm facing. But in 1v1v1v1s, there's always a fight at the top, so you just have to send all the rounds and wish for the plus 10.
Mm.
So I'd say that cup mode gives a huge advantage to some players that crash a bit more. But I mean, it's a good format as well,
Mm.
and yeah, we'll see about that.
Like I said in the intro, many people look at you as the biggest favorite, and for good reasons. But if you are to look at the other contenders, who would you uh, predict to be in a potential grand final, hopefully against yourself?
It's really hard to say right now because the WRs are really stacked. The pace is really fast. Players are showing really nice pace
Mm.
on their streams or online. So from what I've seen, like Kappa is number one for me. Then I'd say well we'll have to face the 2018 Kappa this year I think, and obviously you'll always have the same guys, but maybe Binks and Massa can surprise a lot.
Hmm. You have won the World Championship 3 times. You're the only player in Trackmania Grand League's history to win it more than 1 time, if you at least count just ESWC and then Mania Planet World Cup and Trackmania World Championship. What would a win mean to you compared to the other ones? I mean, once I did this sort of achievement list after you won the last Trackmania Grand League season, I think I had 2 letters left on my Twitter, so I cannot put any more achievements in there. But what would this mean to you if you win it? Is it something special? Is it less special since it's online? Is it more special since it's now the
Yeah.
return?
Well, it's a World Cup.
Yeah.
Obviously, it means a lot to every player winning it. You can say that you're the best. So a World Cup is huge and it means a lot. But since it's online, as you said it, I think it removes a bit of the hype that I have for it, and it also affects my motivation and preparation.
Mm.
But it's still a World Cup, so players will be ready and the level will be really good as always.
Mm. That's it. Final question from me is a question I will try to ask everybody. Who is going to be the new world champion of Trackmania?
The best player in the tournament.
Oh, the same answer as we saw on Leon, and we all know what
Yep.
happened there. So, best of luck
Yep.
to you, CarlJr. And if you make it to the playoffs, then I will likely ask you to come back here and tell us more before July 4th once the grand final takes place. So, thanks
For
a lot
sure.
and good luck.
Yeah, thank you.